If you're considering moving to Italy or living here for a period of time, then there is an essential aspect you need to understand: how the Italian healthcare system works and how you can access it. Ciao, I'm Valentina Stella, native Italian teacher, and today I'm going to take you inside the Italian healthcare system so that you can be fully prepared to navigate it when living in Italy. Today's video is actually part of my Living in Italy, my comprehensive guide that helps you understand how Italy really works and plan your move to our beautiful country. Whether you're thinking about relocating here or buying a property in Italy, this guide walks you through everything you need to know, from dealing with bureaucracy and healthcare to understanding transportation, property matters, and daily social life. If you're ready to turn your Italian dream into reality, then click the link in the description to get your copy of my guide. Okay, now let's dive into the typical flow of Italian healthcare system, il Sistema Sanitario Nazionale Italiano, and we often shorten that to SSN, so we say l'SSN. Okay, step 1, your general practitioner. Everything starts with your medico di base. Medico di base. That's how we say general practitioner in Italian. And your medico di base is responsible for handling routine checkups and prescriptions. To get assigned a medico di base, you will need to visit the local health authority, which is called Azienda Sanitaria Locale, or often shortened into ASL, l'ASL. And you will need to visit with your health card called tessera sanitaria, la tessera sanitaria, and proof of residency. That's what you need to bring with you when asking for a medico di base. Now, your medico di base is responsible for providing routine checkups and diagnosing and treating common illnesses, and will issue an impegnativa. Impegnativa is the Italian word that we use for both a prescription and a specialist referral. Now, what I want you to notice that your visit to medico di base will always be free of cost, although office hours are usually limited and it can get pretty busy. Okay, step numero 2. Step number 2, seeing a specialist. If you need to see a specialist, in Italian we call that uno specialista, you can choose public or private care. Now, accessing a specialist through the SSN, Servizio Sanitario Nazionale, is free, or it may require a very small fee. That's called ticket sanitario. So ticket sanitario is the word that we use for the small fee that you need to pay to access the public healthcare system. Now, waiting times though for a specialist can be pretty long, especially for non-urgent cases. So if you prefer faster access for a specialist visit, then you can choose a private specialist. While this option is more expensive than public care, it will allow you to choose your doctor and also schedule appointments with more flexibility. So at this point, there's a question I'm often asked. What do we Italians actually do for specialists? And honestly, we do a combination of both. So, for example, dentist is usually a private specialist because you might need urgent care for that, urgent treatment for the dentist. But for periodic checkups that you can plan ahead of time, then we tend to use the SSN. Okay, step number 3, step numero 3, diagnostic tests. If you need specific tests, such for example blood work, x-rays, MRIs, Italian public hospitals cover those through the 𝗟𝗟𝗃. Again, you will need to pay a small fee called ticket sanitario, which is usually actually a fraction of the cost in private system. But expect waiting times which can go from a couple hours wait for a blood test at the hospital to a few months wait for a more complex test. Private clinics for diagnostics are widely available and faster, but of course you will have to pay out of pocket. Numero 4. Step 4. Treatment and surgery. If your diagnosis requires treatment or surgery, you will get those at a small fee or no fee at all in public hospitals in Italy. Now, Italian public hospitals are well equipped and staffed with highly trained professionals, but waiting times for non-urgent procedures can be long. Again, private clinics offer faster access to surgery and more personalized care, but the costs can be high. Now, here's an insider's tip. Some private clinics have agreements with SSN, Servizio Sanitario Nazionale, for reduced costs. You need to look for what we call cliniche convenzionate. Cliniche convenzionate, which means clinics with agreements with SSN. And they are usually the happy medium for non-urgent procedures. Step numero 5, step number 5, follow-up and prescriptions. After treatment or surgery, your medico di base will coordinate your follow-up care. For medications, you will need to visit a pharmacy, una farmacia in Italiano, and you will need to bring your tessera sanitaria and your prescription. Now, many medications in Italy are subsidized by the SSN, so you will pay just a small fee. For over-the-counter medications, you can visit a pharmacy without a prescription. Pharmacists, I farmacisti in Italia, are highly trained and can provide advice on minor health issues. Step numero 6, step number 6, urgent care and emergency. For urgent care that's not quite an emergency, we have a service called guardia medica, la guardia medica, which is medical guard service. And this provides after-hours care when your medico di base is unavailable. And the service is usually free, totally free for local residents. In case of emergency, so in case of an actual emergency, you can go directly to the emergency room, which in Italian is called pronto soccorso, il pronto soccorso, at any public hospital. So any Italian public hospital has a pronto soccorso inside. And what I want you to notice is that emergency care is free for everyone in Italy, regardless of residency status. So you can go in there and you are not going to pay anything. So as you can see, the Italian healthcare system has some great advantages, especially compared to other countries, but of course also has some issues that you will need to be aware of. And that's actually true about any aspect of life in Italy. It can feel like a dream, but it also involves a complex web of practical realities that can make or break your transition to living here. So if you're seriously considering moving to Italy, there are some crucial questions that you need to answer, such as which Italian region would best match your lifestyle and expectations? What are all the real costs that you will face when living in Italy? What's the fastest way to navigate Italian bureaucracy? How you can safely buy property in Italy? And where exactly should you start to make your move successful? What you will really need is a complete, realistic guide that brings together all the essential information in one place. A guide that doesn't just tell you what to do, but explains how to do it step by step. And that's exactly why I created Living in Italy, the insider guide to understand how Italy works and plan your move to Italy. This comprehensive guide combines my unique insider perspective with practical knowledge and cultural insights, giving you everything you need to make informed decisions and avoid costly mistakes. So, if you're ready to turn your Italian dream into reality, click the link in the description to get your copy of Living in Italy. Ciao da Valentina!